It's Ghost with Combat Sports Supply, and today we're going to be going over the Sig Sauer P226 Mk25. Now, why did I specify this as the Mk25 variant? Well, Sig entered this in the competition to replace the 1911. It lost out to the M9 due to costs, but the Navy SEALs adopted this, and that is why it is the Mk25 version and why it has the anchor on it. Now, as the Navy SEAL variant, you'll notice the slide is a slightly different color than a standard Sig. That's because it had a very special anti-corrosion coating on it for the Navy SEALs use. Let's see what you get in the box when you get this thing. You're gonna get your pistol, your magazine, and your warranty / manual. The manual is the QR code on here, the little tiny one. And now in ours, you will get your Airsoft 101 in case you have any questions. This one is produced by VFC. Sig will hide that on the box. It's kind of hard to find, but they are in fact produced by VFC. Just they're very tightly controlled on how they're produced. All right, let's get into how this thing works and what kind of functionality it has. So starting out, it does have a very nice ergonomic single-piece grip that can be replaced with other ones if you want. Now, for those of you worried about bumping your mag release and accidentally dropping your mag, it is recessed at the level of your grip plate, so it's less likely to get bumped by things. Now, moving up from there, you'll notice something's kind of weird. It has two levers on it instead of one like most airsoft pistols. One of them is your standard slide lock. That'd be this big one in the back. So this front one is actually your decocker, which is pretty standard on a lot of SIGs. When you push it down, it'll half decock the hammer and put the gun in what's essentially a double action mode. It does have a somewhat long trigger pull, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I mean, it is pretty far in there to get it going. When you're running it though, you won't even notice. Like your normal SIG, this is gonna have a little bit of a different takedown from a lot of pistols, but that's not a bad thing. It's actually this arm here. Just use my thumb for a moment. It rotates down, and that allows the slide to come off. It does have a 3-slot Picatinny rail mount system on the bottom of the slide. It will have a polymer lower, but it does have a full metal upper slide. It will have the press engraved Sig Sauer logos and stuff on both sides. Even this is press engraved. However, they laser engraved the anchor on it. Now, while this does have the load indicator of a standard Sig, it does not function on the Replica. It just looks neat. Now that we're in close on this, you can really see that color differentiation. That is, again, that anti-salt, anti-corrosion coating they put on it for the Navy SEALs. It does have the front and rear sights like a normal SIG. The one complaint the SEALs had was that they were not night sights, but that shouldn't be too hard to fix if you wanted to. One of the few downsides to this pistol, this orange tip is free floating, which means that it does not have a threaded barrel in it. So we've got this wonderful airsoft replica in front of us. What are its performance stats? So this replica is currently green gas only. I don't know if there are any plans to make it CO2. Now, this does have an adjustable hop up in it, just like a lot of pistols, and it is actually more like a Glock, where it's that little wheel on the base of your spring guide. Now, we've covered this in a few videos now, but there are a few brief basic maintenance things you can do to this, primarily putting silicone oil on the moving parts as needed, specifically this nozzle assembly. The one weird part about reassembling this is your slide rail goes all the way to the front, so it can be a bit of a bugger to realign. Out of the box, they say it's shooting around 300, 320 FPS. So what do I think of this thing? Well, I ran a P226 for years in Airsoft. It's honestly a wonderful pistol. The long trigger pull, you won't even notice when you're using it. And I actually kind of like it because it forces you to take your time and be even more accurate. The pistol's accurate to begin with, but makes the replica even more accurate because you're doing a dedicated trigger pull. As far as reliability and comfort, this is one of the most comfortable airsoft replicas I've ever used. And it's honestly so well balanced, you don't even really notice you're holding it because it's not front heavy like most replicas are. I had the regular version of this back in the day. I wish I'd had this one. They didn't have it at the time because this is just a neat, having a variant of something makes it a little more unique.
Don't be a fool!
So please like and subscribe to this and comment any questions you have and give us some ideas on what we should do next.